In this video, we'll be taking a look at two NHL games happening on December 16th, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these two NHL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Edmonton Oilers versus Pittsburgh Penguins. The Pittsburgh Penguins match up with the Edmonton Oilers in a spot where both teams are trying to build on seasons that are good, but not exactly stress-free yet. The Penguins sit at 14-8-9 hanging around that playoff bubble, and they are coming off 2 straight overtime losses that probably felt like punches to the gut more than clean defeats. Edmonton, at 15-12-6, has won 4 of its last 6, and that little surge has nudged them into the top wild card slot in the West, which sounds solid, but still feels fragile when you look a bit closer. Edmonton's recent stretch kind of sums up their whole vibe. They just beat the Maple Leafs, then turned around and lost to the Habs, and they have the Bruins up next. Over their last 12 games, they have basically gone win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, splitting that whole run right down the middle. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, is bringing a very different kind of energy. They have dropped games to the Sharks and Mammoth. They see the Senators next, and they are stuck in a 5-game losing streak that feels heavier than the raw numbers suggest. Those losses have started to sound alarm bells, even if a few of them were close. The spotlight naturally falls on Connor McDavid on one side and Sidney Crosby on the other, and that alone would be enough to sell a Tuesday night game. Player in the recent blockbuster trade where goaltenders Stuart Skinner and Tristan Jarry swapped teams, and suddenly this is not just another game, it is a little soap opera on ice. Both franchises badly need some steadiness in their play. Edmonton is chasing consistency in their results, while Pittsburgh is chasing consistency in their confidence. Here is the thing, Pittsburgh's issues feel more unnerving right now. They have repeatedly built big leads, then watched them evaporate. Since November 3rd, they have blown 3 leads of 3 or more goals in the third period, including each of their last 2 games. That is the kind of pattern that sticks in players' heads and can quietly mess with their decision-making. You can almost feel the tension every time they go up by a couple of goals, because everyone in the building remembers what happened last time. Edmonton's story is different. Yes, they are coming off a 4-1 loss to Montreal, but that followed a 4-0 heater where they outscored teams 28-14. So when they are locked in, they look like the better side more often than not. They have also taken 8 of the last 10 meetings with the Penguins, which does matter, even if it is not everything. Combine that with Pittsburgh's 5-game skid, and it is pretty easy to say Edmonton should be favored, at least on paper. But honestly, this is where the argument twists a bit. The Oilers have struggled to string wins together all year, and they are not exactly the most trustworthy favorite. It is one thing to be the more talented group. It is another to consistently cash tickets when you are laying a price. At the same time, Pittsburgh's losing streak looks a little less ugly when you remember they have still picked up points in 4 of those 5 games. They are not getting run out of the rink, they just keep ending up on the wrong side of coin flips. That brings us right back to the goaltending wrinkle. Tristan Jarry is almost certainly starting for Edmonton against the team he used to backstop, while Stuart Skinner is in line to start for his new club, Pittsburgh. There is a real emotional charge there. Jarry will want to prove something in his return, but Skinner is trying to show that the trade can reset his narrative and that his new teammates can trust him. I lean toward this meaning just a bit more to Skinner, psychologically. If he sharpens up behind a Penguins group that is tired of watching leads slip away, it is not hard to picture them finally finishing the job for him. You could even argue that with all these overtime losses, the Penguins are overdue for one bounce to finally tilt their way. As our first pick for this matchup, the Pittsburgh Penguins money line is our full game side pick. Edmonton is averaging 3.33 goals per game, and they are cashing on 30.6% of their power play chances. That mix of even strength punch and a dangerous man advantage usually drags games into higher totals, especially when their style tends to stretch the ice rather than slow it down. Defensively, they are giving up 3.39 goals per game and killing 79.1% of opposing power plays, which is not exactly lockdown work. It leaves just enough cracks for opponents to climb right back into games. Pittsburgh is not far behind offensively. They are putting up 3.19 goals per game and converting 32.1% of their own power plays, which is actually even more efficient on special teams. That is the sort of power play clip that forces opponents to think twice about every penalty, because a minor mistake can turn into a goal in a hurry. On the defensive side, the Penguins allow 2.94 goals per game and are killing 84% of opposing power plays. That looks solid on paper, although the recent blown leads show that structure does not always hold up under stress. Put that all together and you get 2 offenses that know how to score, 2 power plays that punish mistakes, and 2 defenses that have enough holes to keep things interesting. With Pittsburgh's habit of turning comfortable leads into track meets and Edmonton's tendency to play in spurts rather than in a calm, low-event style, it is very easy to imagine stretches where goals come in bunches. There is also a decent chance of late-game chaos if this one stays tight, and those frantic final minutes often push totals over the number. So, while the winner might be up for debate, the path to a higher scoring game is pretty clear. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Colorado Avalanche versus Seattle Kraken. The 2025 to 2026 NHL betting board keeps rolling on Tuesday, December 16th, with the Colorado Avalanche heading to Climate Pledge Arena to face the Seattle Kraken in a Western Conference clash in Seattle, Washington. Colorado is coming in hot after wins over the Panthers and Predators, with the Jets on deck next. The Avalanche have taken 16 of their last 19 games, which is the kind of heater that gets everyone's attention. Seattle is stuck at the other end of the mood spectrum, coming off losses to the Mammoth and the Sabres, with the Flames up next. The Kraken have dropped 8 of their last 9, and it feels as rough as it sounds. These two have not seen each other yet this season, and this is the first of 3 meetings. The gap between them in the standings is huge, a 23-point difference, which tells you how different their paths have been so far. Colorado has stacked 2 straight wins and gone 4 wins, 0 losses, and 1 overtime loss across its last 5. Even though they are on the road here, there is not much reason to think they suddenly slam the brakes on their run. For Seattle, this is arguably the hardest matchup they have had, because the Avalanche are treated as the gold standard around the league right now. The Kraken's recent stretch, with a 1-7-1 mark in their last 9 and a 35-17 scoring deficit in that span, does not offer much hope. They have only 7 wins in 16 home games, which is not the usual tough building profile. On top of that, their top scorer Jared McCann is out, and an illness in the room has key pieces like Vince Dunn, Mason Marchment, and Kaapo Kakko listed as questionable. Seattle comes into this one after losing 8 of 9, and 5 of those defeats were by at least 2 goals. At home this season, the Kraken sit at 7 wins, 5 losses, and 2 ties, 6 losses, and 3 overtime losses, which is technically respectable, but it does not exactly erase the current slump. Colorado, on the other hand, has been excellent away from home with 10 wins, 2 losses, and 5 overtime losses on the road. The Avalanche have taken 4 of their last 5 games overall and have only 2 regulation losses on the season, which is wild in itself. They have allowed 2 goals or fewer in 4 of those last 5, and against a struggling Seattle offense, they should not be giving up many clean looks. The Kraken have been wrestling with problems on both offense and defense, and missing a couple of important players has made things worse. No matter who gets the start in goal for Seattle, slowing Colorado down here is a big ask. Seattle has allowed at least 3 goals in 7 of its previous 8 games, which is a trend you really do not want when you are facing a high-end attack. During that same span, the Kraken have scored more than 3 goals just once, and that was in a chaotic 9-4 loss to the Edmonton Oilers that was more embarrassing than encouraging. If this were a different month and a different version of Seattle, you could maybe talk yourself into taking a swing on them as a huge underdog at home. Their overall home numbers are not terrible, but right now, their form is basically indefensible. For close to a month, the Kraken have felt like a punching bag, and the defensive side has not offered any signs of a turnaround. That is a brutal setup with the Avalanche rolling into town, still sharp in all 3 zones and often winning by margin when they get going. You have one team trending up, one team sliding down, and they are not meeting in the middle. Honestly, it would be a real surprise if Seattle came away with anything here, even a point. The odds lean heavily toward Colorado taking care of business, and that lines up with the current form. So there is no need to get cute with this matchup. The straightforward read makes the most sense. As our first pick for this matchup, the Colorado Avalanche to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Colorado's attack at even strength has been ruthless this season. They sit at the top of the league in expected goals for, while Seattle is sitting at the very bottom of that same category, which sets up a pretty clear imbalance whenever the puck is in motion. There is a funny wrinkle here, though. The Avalanche are only 28th in power play percentage, going 17 for 111 chances, which works out to 15.3%. On paper, that looks like a unit that has not really clicked yet. This matchup is a chance to change that because Seattle has the worst penalty kill percentage in the league at 67.5%. If Colorado is going to heat up with the man advantage, this is basically the ideal opponent to do it against. With that in mind, leaning on Colorado's offense and looking at the over makes sense. No team in the league takes more shots than the Avalanche, firing an average of 34.7 per game, and volume like that usually breaks through at some point. From a bettor's perspective, you are just hoping Seattle chips in a goal or two to help push things along, even if they are otherwise overmatched. Recent history between these two sides supports the idea of goals as well, as 4 of the last 5 meetings have finished with more than 5 total goals. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed, subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.